Give me one.
Welcome back to Luckslinger. Time for another bounty hunting trip. And this time, we're going after a gambler. Not just any gambler, one that goes by the name of Blondie, who has built her own casino at the middle of nowhere. And we're gonna go find her. We're gonna track her down. Lay it on me, Luca. Duckbridge will be sure to remember that. Alright, it's off to Blondie's.
Give me one.
Well, the hospitality is not that great, but here we are, we're at Blondie's. So, this level is actually kind of unique because it's not exactly a full-on scrolling level, it's a level that we're going to climb, and it's segmented by floors. So there was the first floor, was pretty easy, and we noticed our first two enemy types. There was the guy with the knife that will chase after us. He's pretty easy to take care of because he doesn't do any damage unless he touches us. And there's the card dealer who will fling cards out, and he's pretty much just like a really fast shoot man. He is dangerous if you're not careful. And the last enemy type we saw was the barkeep. He is just like one of those enemies from level 3 who would hide behind a box, except this time it's a bar, and he flings empty bottles at you. So a general rule of thumb when it comes to those knife guys is you should always have your own knife out at the ready, just in case you see one on screen, because your knife will take care of most of the damage for you, so that way you're not wasting your entire bullet load on one guy. So the card dealers mostly fling cards in pairs of either 3 or 5, sometimes 6 if it's getting really nasty, but most of the time it's either 3 or 5. 5's pretty tough to dodge, but if you time it just right, you'll be able to clear it just fine. And one of the most common unlucky events to happen in this level is falling chandeliers. You really need to watch out for those. Here's a floor entirely meant to heal you up. Or not. If you're unlucky, then it's mostly just going to be snakes and an armadillo. But we got lucky and we got filled up on hearts even though we didn't need it. Now you might have noticed there's a lot of slot machines throughout this level. If you shoot them, if you're lucky, something good will come out, like a heart or an extra life. And if you're not lucky, then an enemy will pop out, like an armadillo. I recommend using your bracelet on this jump because the card guy can sometimes nick you if you're not careful. And I don't want to risk it, so we're going to use our bracelet for this one. A lot of the enemies in this level drop luck anyway, so it's kind of encouraged that you use your bracelet as much as you can, wherever you can. And the last enemy type is the barrel thrower, who will roll barrels at you. And you can take them out with your golden knife, or you can shoot at them. The golden knife takes them down in one hit, so what I recommend is that you throw the knife at the barrel once he's thrown it, and then you just walk up to pick up your knife, and then it puts you in a better position to shoot him, and you just repeat the process until you're right up in his face, or if you killed him. This is also the only level that takes place inside rather than outside, which is a nice change. These trampolines are a little finicky. Sometimes you don't get any momentum if you bounce on them. That's a very minor thing, but it's a thing that you need to be aware of. And it's time to gamble. What's our new sub-weapon gonna be? Oh, looks like it's gonna be the deployable chain gun. So the deployable chain gun is pretty cool because it is basically just a gigantic gun that will fire off a huge amount of bullets. They spray upwards, and they do a fair amount of damage if you can get all the bullets to land. So they're pretty good for bosses, too. So this one particular barrel, man, you want to be careful around because the roof is very low and you can hit your head if you jump, which makes it really tough to jump over those barrels. And the one above it, you want to be really careful because once you're up here, you don't ever want to go back down. Because if you're stuck in that position where you're trying to jump up on those ledges on the side here and try to climb up, there's a chance that he'll keep throwing barrels to the point that you can't get up there without taking too much damage and dying. So you want to get up there as fast as you can and hold your position. And we got another chain gun, so I can go ahead and use the other one to show you what it does. Also, how does this building work structurally? I don't understand it at all. And another healing room in case you needed it. Or another enemy pit if you needed that too. And this prisoner go bar is pretty tricky. You need to stay in the back and just fire a full load, and it will hit the slot machine, and you have to get lucky to get it to open. So I recommend having full luck when you come in here. And the next room is the most complicated room in the entire level, and it's also the last room. It has two card dealers on two sides, and they will throw cards ad nauseum at you. So the first thing you need to do is either pop your luck charm, or you have to get on one side of the room, because staying in the middle is suicide. With that said, it's now the end of the level, and you know what? I think we're going to keep all our luck this time. I just feel like we should have at least one boss fight that has luck in it, right? And here's an opportunity to get an extra life. If you can figure out the combination to this vault, you can get an extra life. However, I didn't spend enough time researching the code, so I don't exactly know it. but I'll give it a good try. And I didn't get it, but now that's alright. Alright, if you weren't scared off from the mutilation of Blondie's eye, Blondie herself is a sort of ranged melee hybrid. So at the start of the fight, she'll throw 3 cards at you, and you can just dodge those pretty easily because they move really slow. And then she'll chase after you with her knife. And all you have to do is just kind of go around in a circle to keep her at bay. All at the same time, her birds that were on the roof earlier are going to swoop down and grab those cards. So wherever those cards will fall is where they're going to be. So keep that in mind. She'll also throw 1 card up in the air and signal a bird to drop either a barrel, or if you're lucky, a piece of health. But the luck chance, even at full luck, is kind of low, so don't hold your breath on that health piece. And then we just keep doing this until phase 2, when she finally realizes that coming after you with the knife is kind of pointless, so she'll just stick to staying in place and keeps throwing more cards at you, and she'll throw more cards into the air. So at this point you want to stay up top of the building while she's throwing the red cards out, and take pot shots when she's throwing the green cards up. Well, that about does it for this video. Hope to catch you next time. See ya. You know, we got really lucky with that dice roll. But what if we weren't so lucky?
I don't know, my life didn't go wrong, I just happened to enjoy doing this.
Reflex.
Spent my
Whoa,
whole
that was a
weekend
weird
playing this
glitch.
fucking game.
I have not.
Where am I?
I spent a whole last weekend playing this fucking game.
Shit.
Good way to spend a weekend.
It's okay, I've got
What
a day
is
next
happening?
weekend to make up for it.
Damn, this guy being a functioning human being.
Oh my god, what is happening?
How dare you
I
function
broke
as
the
a normal
game.
human being?
That's bullshit.
I need to make new people to be slaves to debt like me.
Thought goons are all fat people living off autism bugs.
Maybe
Maybe I don't want to play this anymore.
Been
Maybe I
misled.
just want to play more. Maybe I just want to play Undertale.
There we go. Shit.
Undertale is the best game.
I need
is.
Undertale.
When are we racing Undertale?
I don't have it.
Isn't that too long?
Because it's like 6 hours long.
No, it's like 2 hours.
I thought
But
you said
no,
it
Oh
was,
my god, I broke everything. What
you
the
said
fuck?
it was 16 hours.
Oh.
I've played it for 16 hours because I really like it, but if you want to just beat the game...